What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are all having an absolutely fantastic day. I know I am. If you are, be sure to press the like button. Otherwise, no joke, no scam. You will be hogtied and sold to the Chinese as baby bait. I don't really know what babies they're trying to hunt, but apparently you can be bait, and that's not very cool. Anyways, guys, today I figured I would bring back a story tradition on this channel, which is talking about weird people that I went to school with, alright? As you can tell from the title, today we're going to be talking about this kid who never showered, alright? There's something about kids that stink that just really rubs me the wrong way. Like, it's really not hard to rub a stick of deodorant under your pits if you smell like an onion forest, alright? Like, when Shrek said that, you know, ogres are like onions and they have layers, he didn't mean that you should go out of your way to smell like an onion, you know? He was just saying that there's plenty of layers to your personality. But some kids watched Shrek when they were little and decided that that's going to be their life motto. They're just going to go out of their way to smell as bad as humanly possible. I don't really understand why, but some kids out there are like, nah. My dentist said I should brush my teeth, but instead, I'm going to brush my teeth with sewer cabbage and, I don't know, banana peels that have been rotting for 8 days. But there were just this one kid at my school who I remember had the stench of a dead cat. Like, I'm not even kidding. This kid smelt the way that beef looks, okay? Like, it was just not a pleasant experience. And I figured you guys would find it very entertaining, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. So buckle your seatbelt and let's get into it. Going to school in a public school is interesting because there's just a mix of weird kids. And I went to a public school for a little bit and then a private school for a bit, so I got the whole shebang of the amount of different kids that you're going to meet throughout high school. A large variation of people. And one thing that I can tell you is that for some reason, people in public school just smell worse. I don't really know what the deal with that is, but this is one of those stories. So one day in my junior year of school, I was chilling in class with Grant, and we got a new kid who walked in. And when he walked in, we immediately knew that something was up with this kid, and he was going to be a little bit weird, because he was wearing a leather jacket at the start of the school year, like 2 weeks into school, like he was just a little late, wearing a leather trench coat. And where I live, it's about 110 degrees when school starts. So the second we see this man walking in with a leather trench coat, two things pops into my mind. One, I have to watch out for this kid reaching into his backpack. And two, this dude is definitely sweating up a storm, all right? I don't care how tough you are. I don't care if you're Superman levels of strength. You do not wear a leather black trench coat in 110 degree heat and not have pools of sweat running off of you. Like, you know how Rio de Janeiro's Olympics had the issue with the pools not having good enough water? They could have just put the pools underneath this guy's sweat in this coat, and Michael Phelps probably could have won 18 more gold medals in this kid's sweat because it was infected with just pure neckbeardness. And I understand it's wrong to judge a book by its cover, alright? It is wrong to judge a book by a cover, but this is more judging a pool by its cover by the amount of sweat running off this kid. So he gets introduced and the teacher asks him to say something about himself, and he starts with this introduction. I don't live by society's norms, so if you expect that of me, then change your expectations now. Alright, Joker, okay? I know Joaquin Phoenix or whatever is doing a fantastic job acting as you in theaters right now, but can you chillax a little bit? This was way before the Joker, but if that's how you introduce yourself to the class, you got some issues, bro. Like, we were like, I don't know, does this kid like anime? Or maybe he likes to drink water. I don't know what we have in common. And he just decided to go with, my heart is like a dark fire where society cannot quench my thirst for conquest. Like, bro, nobody is talking about things that are this deep when they're introducing themselves to the class. Nobody else stood up here and was like, my opinion on society's judgment of other individuals is based upon the premise. Nobody was doing that. So homeboy immediately sets himself off as a bit of a weird character wearing this ginormous trench coat in the middle of school and talking about how he doesn't address to society's norms. And I don't know what societal norms he was talking about. I'm pretty sure one of them that he made very clear he ignores was showering, because he gets put at me and Grant's like table. You know, there's 4 desks clumped together that you kind of sit with and your boys with, and we had an empty seat. And the second he sits down, I am hit with a wave of smell. And the only way I can describe the smell that blasted into my nostrils with the power of 18 nuclear bombs being detonated at once was, I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but if something is dead for long enough, it starts to turn into this dark black goop. And that goop just smells disgusting, and that's the wave that just went into my nose. So I was trying to introduce myself when this wave hit me. So I was like, hey, I'm Rot, and like had to like, whoa, like recoil my head back in shock at the sheer disgustingness that was entering my nostrils slowly, one nostril at a time, all right? It didn't hit at once. It was like a 1-2 punch. The first wave of smell rolled over my face, and I looked at the rest of my friends at the table, and they were definitely all smelling it too, because we all had the same facial expression of stank, like something just smelled terrible. So we're all like, whoa, I was not expecting that. You know, it's not every day you wake up expecting to roll into class with some kid in a trench coat being a savage. And after the smell had died down a bit, I went to shake his hand. I was like, hey, I'm Ryan. And he looks at my hand, looks back at me, and goes, sorry, I don't need shallow friends that think that societal norms apply to me. Bro, what societal norms are you talking about? I'm trying to introduce myself and be friends. I didn't say, hey, weirdo with the trench coat, guess what? You look weird, and then try to shake your hand. I was just trying to be chill. So I pull my hand back, and I'm like, all right, well, what societal norms are you talking about? Which is the question on everybody's mind. Like, I don't think this is r/I'm 14 and this is deep, bro. I don't know what societal norms you're talking about being against and being a champion for, because not shaking someone's hand when you're introducing yourself doesn't make me think that you're a savage that doesn't need society. It makes me think that you're a butthole who has no idea how to interact with the real world. And this kid looks me in the eyes. Keep in mind, I don't know him. He just rejected my attempt to be his friend and like shake his hand and start this on a good note and says, I don't need friends. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a warrior. My ancestors in Ireland have done a fantastic job of fighting with every inch of their being to make sure that I'm in a position of power. I'm an alpha, and I don't need friends. And I was like, whoa, okay there, Joker. Like, ooh, cool your jets, buddy. You don't shower. You smell like Dookie. The reason you don't have any friends isn't because you're a strong Irishman whose family members fought in Braveheart, all right? It's because you smell weird and you are like a jerk, dude. Like, listen, I get it. Yes, is it a little mean to judge a book by its cover? But when the cover is garbage and the personality is more garbage, then you have every right to judge them. It's just not something that you get to do. This is something that everybody needs to know. First impressions, as much as people are like, oh, don't judge a book by its cover, first impressions matter. I'm not saying you need to walk into school with a suit and tie on every day, like in the best mood of your life, but if somebody's just trying to be nice and introduce themselves to you and you start going off about how you're a lone wolf who doesn't need any friends, like, that's just not a good message to convey. That's not something that makes people be like, this dude's sick, let's hang out. And you know, I get it. Maybe not everybody needs friends, but at the very least, at least pretend to be nice. Like, life is so much easier when you get along with people, and you're not going to get along with anybody acting like you're a hard-on, like, oh, yeah, I don't need friends, man. I'm a warrior. Okay, dude, listen, we're all a bunch of white kids from the suburbs. None of us are warriors. If any of us were in a real combat situation, none of us would know what to do. Stop pretending like you actually fought in an Irish Revolution from 1454, because the truth is, you just didn't. That's not how the real world works, buckaroo. Now, I know what you're thinking. Ryan, maybe the guy was just having a bad day, and I thought that too. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Sure, you know, he might have been a little mean and a little bit of a poo-poo head. Thank you, garbage truck, for pulling up right when I'm recording. I appreciate you guys doing your job on a timely fashion, even though it's 4 p.m. and you promised to come at 11 a.m. Goodness gracious, guys. The professionalism of the garbage men is unmatched. Realistically, that was a joke. I appreciate garbage men. You know, that's a really underappreciated job. Like, nobody wants to be a garbage man. But they do it anyways because they know that it needs to get done. And that's important, all right? I don't know why we're ranting about the importance of garbage men in society now, but societal norms don't apply to this guy, so he was like, garbage men are garbage. Rah! So the next day we come back to class, and I'm expecting him to be a little bit nicer, and also hoping that he just forgot to shower yesterday, like in the rush of going to a new school a couple weeks into the school year. Hopefully, somewhere along the line, he was like, maybe my stench is a little bit overwhelming. But nope, sure enough, he comes back into class the next day smelling like garlic and onion, which, I mean, to be fair, if there was a vampire epidemic, the garlic smell would scare them away. So I do have to give him a big brain round of applause for thinking about the fact that a vampire attack is definitely imminent at any point in our society, even though the norms don't apply to him in the first place. He was ready, just in case a vampire attack was coming. And we're at the table, and, you know, we're just kind of chilling, having a conversation, and I'm pretty sure me, Grant, and the other guy, who I'm going to name Kevin for this story, we're talking about Call of Duty, like just whatever game we were playing at the time. I'm pretty sure it was Call of Duty. It was either Call of Duty or Halo, but we were just talking about a video game, you know, just a normal conversation. Oh, did you guys see that new map update? Did you guys see that new thing about, like, you know, the new gun? I think it was like the Peacemaker getting added to Black Ops 2, whatever. It was not that deep. It was just a normal conversation about video games. goes. And the homeboy slams his fist on the table, which probably stank too. Oh my gosh, that desk was cursed with, stanky hands. And just starts ranting to us about how Call of Duty or Halo, whichever game it was, isn't a real game, and how anyone who plays it is basically supporting war crimes. And we're like, bro, listen, me playing Call of Duty does not mean that I'm endorsing war crimes. And keep in mind, this is in the middle of class. So now he is just ranting about how apparently me and my friends support war criminals because we're playing Call of Duty in high school during the middle of class. And so the teacher is kind of like, is everything okay? And he's like, no, these simpletons don't have the depth of mind to think about the consequences of their actions and what industries they're supporting. And I need to be moved immediately. Yes, I am the simpleton for playing Call of Duty, bro. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10 on deepness, we were at a 1. I was just talking about a video game, and you took it to a 10. I was not commenting on the geopolitical state of the world by saying that I like to play Call of Duty with my friends. But our English teacher kind of looked at our faces, and we were kind of all like, I don't really know what's going on. And I think she knew that the best thing to do was probably just to separate him and be by himself because, I mean, she has a nose for one. She probably could smell him from her desk. Like, when he opened his mouth and started saying something about war crimes, she probably got hit with a waft of something that smells like war coming out of his mouth, because I'm pretty sure this kid did not brush his teeth either. So he got moved into the corner by himself because apparently we just super insulted him, and to this day I really don't know what I said to set him off. But yeah, basically for a day in school I sat next to an ogre who didn't know how to shower. That wasn't my last interaction with the kid, but that was just the start of a very long, not enemy, but just somebody that I just did not get along with very well. But yeah, don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. Today's notification shout out goes to Who's Audrey. Big shout out to you. Have yourselves an incredible day. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. I'm gonna go shower just to make sure I don't stink now. I'm out. Peace.